There we go. And we are in for the decider. That is going to be deciding plenty of things, of course. Amongst themselves is going to be either, well, they're asking if it's islands or not, because this is blind random. And basically, to finish my thought from before, this is going to be deciding who's going to be advancing into the playoffs, and it's for that reason, of course, quite important. Their group stage match finished in the 1-1 that you can see in the scoreboard up in the screen. So that is the reason why they are having to play one game as basically to decide more or less a best of 3 in here. And that will be on blind randoms. So we are gonna be on what? Oh, that seems like some kind of medit. Well, we won't know, of course, because this is gonna be blind random, yes. So we don't know, but the civilizations are for the teams apparently the same. It's gonna be Vikings and Mayans. So that's fairly standard. That's something that you... Or, sorry, there is a difference, actually. CZs took Wicks, Vikings, Huns, and Mongols. Whereas the opponents, they switch Mongols for Mayans. So that's very interesting. That's very interesting right off the bat. Yesterday, Arcs and the Turkish against them played basically the same as they are playing now. Vikings, Huns, and Mayans. So it sees that's actually trying to one-up their opponents through this gameplay. And is it gonna be working for them? I'm kinda thinking that Mongols are actually slightly better. You can see already Follow Your Mind trying to kill a villager who doesn't have Loom, so that was the reason. Yeah, he doesn't have Loom yet. Because they were probably thinking that they are on islands. Yeah, that was exactly what you were seeing in the chat. But they have already discovered there is something more, like Baltic or whatnot, but could be either Baltic or Merit. I'm kinda thinking that they are both the same, pretty much, if you don't have the snow on there. So yeah, let's see how this is gonna be working, but this was definitely a nice idea by Follow Your Mind, aka Error from CZs, to be getting some extra damage into the villager and potentially finish him a bit later with some kind of land attack. If it's gonna be actually coming, that's a big question, because on a map like this, you usually fight for the water quite a bit, and only then try to advance through the sides on the enemy. Well, the civilizations, of course, I'm kinda not sure what's gonna be better, but I'm kinda liking what CZs are having in there. The Mongols, I think they are slightly better than the Mayans on the water. So I'm thinking that's gonna be actually a bit of an advantage for them to be had if they're gonna be playing properly. As of course, it's gonna be a bit of a race, bit of a scouting as well for both players, so not really any kind of issue for either of them. Well, who is gonna be playing flank, who's gonna be in the pocket, and what not nonsenses. So apparently, Garbo, as we have seen, as he was already attacked, is gonna be on the flank as a Han. Gonna be playing against some Mongols, so potentially that might be a bit of an advantage, depending how the game goes. Because the Mongol could be coming for the scout cavalry in the early feudal age, if he doesn't want to fight for the water all that much, which I'm kinda expecting that the Han will be a bit more partial to the water. So curious how that's going to go, as apparently Blue Scout is dead, but I'm thinking he already discovered quite plenty, and at this point he probably doesn't mind all that much, which could be telling us a bit about his game plan. And that the game plan could be placing walls there, somewhere about here, for example. That seems like a good spot, if he takes care of the Wolfie, of course. Wow, there are plenty of wolves. 1, 2, 3, that's plenty of traps for potential villagers. Definitely plenty, so he will have to be careful. But he at least has plenty of gold mines in the front in there. Right now getting the ball right next to the TC, so overall pretty good spot for a Mongol to be at. And if he actually walls himself properly, he should be reasonably fine for late game. In the pocket, that's gonna be for CZ Skull as Han. Han pocket, always nice, but better on Arabia, of course. Otherwise, the other pocket is gonna be Aramis, who is playing Vikings, so that's maybe could be some kind of idea for Fast Castle. On a map like this, probably not, but I wouldn't be surprised by it all that much. It's definitely a viable option if he wants to go for that. As on the other flanks, it's gonna be Maxi, who is going to be playing Mayans, and for the opponent, it's gonna be, of course, Mango as the Vikings, so that is potentially an issue, as it could be some kind of advantage for the Mayan if he actually goes for some kind of aggressive gameplay. But at this point, it seems like it might not really matter all that much, as Mango is already walling. He seems to be quite ready with the Loom in there, so even the Wolfie shouldn't be all that much of an issue. So scouting to the right side, he's gonna be discovering that there is still something to wall. Yep, he's not gonna be making the mistake in there. And of course, Red is gonna be just kinda keeping check in there, keeping things in check, and not really wanting to be surprised by anything at all. So that's that. Everybody seems to be taking things quite carefully. And how is it looking, for example, right now with villages? 21, 20, 23. 23 for the Mayan, for the opponents 19, 23 for the Viking, and 21 for Han. So quite interesting differences actually in there. The Han seems to be better for CZ, already having like one more villager, 5 fishing boat, even one more extra fishing boat. So it seems like that Skull is actually playing better than Carbor so far. And for Follow Your Mind at 19 with the Mongol, that's kinda okay, especially since they are advancing into the feudal ages. So yeah, let's see how the differences are. Between Carbo and Skull, definitely not one village at a time. That would have been a bit to the left for Skull. So I'm thinking that Skull is actually really playing slightly better than Carbo, which is interesting to notice, as of course it's gonna be quite important for the game from now on. And well, apparently there's gonna be second dog for Skull, so he's gonna be fighting for the water in full from the pocket position right off the bat. For the Viking, it's apparently gonna be the same second dog, probably gonna be third one coming up pretty soon as well, as already 2 dogs are finished. As when he finishes with the Wolfie, that's gonna be a third dog also for Follow Your Mind. So almost looking like that all 3 CZs are gonna be fully fighting for the water. For the opponents, Carbo, Hans, 2 dogs, third one coming up. So fight in the feudal age, of course, for the red player. So far just a second dog. Kinda getting for it a bit later. And since he's advancing quite late at 23 villages, that's still kinda alright. Still kinda alright for feudal age fighting. So yeah, I don't really expect it's gonna be a fast castle from him. What is though interesting is purple and 1 dog. Can you see this? Purple, 1 dog. So this is actually telling me that maybe that could be fast castle from Maxi against a Viking. He's already coming for stone. Yeah, this is gonna be fast castle from him. This is gonna be a land fast castle by him. So let's see if there is actually gonna be some kind of idea behind CZ's extra wall. And he's already putting a house in there. So potentially he could be already dropping second row of walls. Because this is really looking like that arcs are gonna be trying to surprise their opponents on the land from the right flank, and in the meantime on the water. That should be resulting in fairly easy fight for the CZs. But also, since the fight is gonna be fairly easy for them, they should be realizing that something is not really according to plan. Going according to plan, and of course, yeah, right now Mango is gonna be exactly discovering the weird 1 dog, telling him absolutely exactly what he needs to know. And since he's the Viking, he's gonna be having kinda limited options how to actually defend. You can see Maxi already coming into a castle age in there. So very nicely played. That's gonna be castle drop, most definitely somewhere here. And oh, as I was talking about the potential of the actually second row of walls, right about now Mango is not finishing with that. And he is right now knowing, or rather is he actually knowing? Maybe he doesn't know yet. Maybe he doesn't know yet. He has discovered 1 dog, no boats, and right now since he's gonna be coming around, he should be probably looking around for the dogs, and since he doesn't see them, he might be actually wanting to realize that, yeah, things are getting real for him. And like significantly real. Very significantly real, so oh well. There are the villages already coming forward. In the meantime, let's have a look on the water, which is not going anywhere all that much, even though... Oh, sorry, scrap that. Scrap that altogether. That's already going to be, of course, an advantage for the CZs, as we were expecting. So they could be having the water, but are they gonna to survive? You can see Skull already in the middle of Aramis. He's gonna be losing everything in there. As on the left flank, it's gonna be just a lot of walling coming from Garbo. And at this point, I'm thinking that actually Arcs might be switching into Slink into the Mayan. He's going, of course, for the outpost so that he can potentially see what his opponent is doing. And if there's some kind of double wall or whatnot. He sees that... Well, he doesn't really see it yet. But it's gonna be castle, and that's an interesting choice. I hope you may be expecting to brave it through top. A bit easier access through opponent, and maybe even giving some kind of control of the water for dogs a bit later and whatnot. But apparently he wants to be a bit more careful. And even though this is probably gonna be discovered by Mango, has he discovered that? Yeah, he sees the castle. And he's walking in a... He just switched basically the patrol. You could have seen it about a few seconds ago, so he knows what's coming for him, and he right now needs to be getting right proper scared. And he is already dropping, of course, the stone wall. These are gonna be in range of the plumed archers very easily, even though this is blocked in there. But the gold is potentially gonna be a problem for him, because it's in front, and we could be expecting that another castle is gonna be dropped probably behind the stone wall. I would be expecting that's gonna be goodbye this gold mine. And does he have extras? Yes, he does. Okay, so he's reasonably fine, and this should result, since he has scouted it, I think in time, that the water battle is gonna be fairly quick and fairly easy for Caesars to basically close up from now on. You can see it's not really going anywhere for the Argentinians, whereas, yeah, the Caesars will have to somehow deal with the problem on their hands. It's gonna be gold stolen, but nothing more than that. Scout is gonna die for his homeland, of course. But yeah, the double row of walls is of course gonna be quite a significant disappointment for Maxi, as there's not gonna be any kind of way through. Let's switch into achievements if there's a sling. Yes, there is. Aramis into Maxi. As you would be expecting, that definitely making plenty of sense. And this is right now just confirming that Argentinians are gonna be putting everything, all their effort into trying to push through all this. And it's gonna be up to Mango to survive as long as possible. That's exactly about that. Because of course the water economy is gonna be giving them plenty of boost, especially to the hunt player. Especially to the hunt player Skull. And I'm thinking that right about now, as the castle ages are coming for both Mango and Follow Your Mind, that once he gets actually going properly, which he already should be because the water is kinda done, then yeah, it's probably not gonna be that easy to actually deal with that kind of problem, even with potentially very nicely slung game for the Mayan. So Mayan already getting some petards even in there to push through, definitely good idea. And I'm kinda curious why Mango isn't moving the villages already away. He should be already moving away and kinda halfway giving up the base, because he cannot hope to actually survive this at all. Yeah, he should be putting a wall about here, using the gold as part of the wall, I'm thinking. Basically, make as many walls as possible to slow your opponent down, because you're not gonna be saving yourself. I'm thinking not. He's hoping that he can advance into castle, and... Is he gathering stone? No, he isn't. I was thinking maybe to drop a castle or whatnot, that could be helping him significantly, but that's definitely not the case, as on the other sides of the map, there is a scout trying to get through into blue, which is not gonna be working all that much, but oh well. Oh well, you can see yellow is already sneaking very nicely through the archer range. Alright, so he's trying to get through, and since he's of course the Hun, he's probably gonna be switching into cavalry archers as soon as possible, and if actually blue is not gonna be paying enough attention to somehow stonewall this and whatnot, yeah, he might be paying quite significantly for that, as he's going for at least DC. It's gonna be some kind of base protection for him, and third as well, but let's see if it's gonna be actually fast enough. I'm not entirely convinced. The water is pretty much done, not really fully closed. Not really fully closed, there's still gonna be a bit of fighting to be had. Let's switch into Carbo, how many boats he's actually having hidden there. Not a low amount. Not a low amount, actually 8 boats is not half bad. So potentially there could be some kind of fight still to be had, as on the right flank we are gonna be seeing the fight from the front row, but he did manage to get at least the second row, that's nice. Nice for Caesars, of course, exactly what needed to be done, and some extra petards could be definitely useful. They are, second castle gonna be coming up in there, with of course going to be a bit of a control of the water as well. Definitely gonna be helping him, and yeah, he's already moving to the gold to the back, and getting the stone, which could be for either a castle or some TCs. At this point I'm thinking he needs to drop a castle. If he can drop a castle about here, he can still protect this economy quite well and delay the opponent. As in the middle, Skull is going for extra TCs, already horses are coming up, and well, I'm thinking that maybe Mango could be slinging as well into the Hump player, into Skull. So far it's not going on, but I wouldn't discount that kind of idea. I'm thinking it wouldn't be bad, because if he can get the Paladins going, or at least the Cavaliers going, a whole lot sooner, I'm thinking he could be protecting himself quite alright. You can see there's gonna be a lot of petards coming in, 2 of those. That's goodbye wall. Goodbye this wall as well. If he can actually target the petard properly though. Yes, he's through, that's gonna be 3 of walls. Not really finished, but it's there. It's definitely there, as on the left side, of course, the boats from yellow are gonna be killed. That's not really all that much of a surprise. But much more importantly, how actually yellow was hoping to surprise the opponent. It's almost looking like he is the one who's gonna get surprised. He was scouted, yeah, the scout was there. So he kinda knows. Yellow knows that blue is coming for him as well. But yeah, he doesn't seem to be all that ready for anything, because, of course, on the land, even though there's the tower, he's gonna be losing quite a significant amount of villages on the foot in there. Even potentially on the gold, because this is damn close. Yeah, this is gonna be well in range from this position in there. So gold problematic, he does have second, so not really any kind of issue in the long run. But on the water, there's still a bit of fight to be had, not much. Not much, just basically Aramis and potentially even the other arcs keeping their opponents on their toes, but that's about that. In the meantime, oh, some good shots. Some good shots we unfortunately missed, so sorry if you were interested in some good shots from Mangonels. You can see a lot of that plumed archers in there. So that was about 2 for 2, I think, and a few archers. But definitely the Imperial Age right about now is gonna be getting problematic because of the trebuchets coming, of course, from Maxi. Let's switch into his point of view. Yeah, plumed archers so far coming up. But trebuchets are gonna be an issue, as knights, of course, are gonna be coming in as well. And the tower is not half a bad idea, because it will prevent finishing all those extra towers or all those extra walls. But so far I have to say that actually Mango is doing a pretty good job. Pretty damn good job of slowing down his opponent, because at this point I'm fairly certain that Maxi was already hoping to be in the enemy base. So kinda careful. Kinda careful about all of this, but he cannot get... Oh, yeah! That was a good shot. Good shot, as Maxi was unfortunately not really all that patient as he should have been. So that didn't really work out for him. But still, even some extra petards, exactly this one, and he's gonna be almost through. So how's it looking with all the knights? Oh, they are actually right now already on the other side. I was kind of looking where the knights were. We have seen them a bit before, and they are actually here. That's a decent counterplay. That's one hell of a brave counterplay by CZ right about now, by Skull. He basically dropped himself into the middle of the enemy base. And that's not a half bad idea, because he wants to kill. He wants to kill the Slinger. And of course, if he kills the Slinger, then the Mayan is gonna be, yeah, kind of like a little kitten. Not really all that dangerous all that much, because his economy is not gonna be prepared. He's having 37 villages, 31 for Carbo, 41 for Aramis. Whereas CZ, 70 and 72 for Follow Your Might and Skull. Whereas Mango is of course at 47, which is still better than anything that Arcs are having. And he is doing such a good job. Such a good job. Oh, that's gonna be an interesting shot in there. Definitely great job of actually stalling the slung opponent. And well, it's still gonna be getting a whole lot harder with the trebuchets finally making an appearance. So it's gonna be goodbye this part of the map, but still. Extra walling is coming up, even though this is kind of wide open. There is already a wall finished with there on the left side, and it's probably gonna be followed up by another gate there, and even some extra horses are gonna be sent in by the ally. Yeah, you can see that Skull is gonna be using that opportunity in there. In the meantime, of course, all those knights without any kind of opposition are doing their job, even trying to finish the TC with the one villager in here. Well, if he does finish that, that's gonna be good help. Right next to gold mine, but the amount of knights is getting kinda scary, and you cannot deal with them with spearmen. That's a castle age unit against feudal age unit, and even though it's a direct counter, still the knights are gonna be winning in the long run. On the left side, not much really happening in there, as apparently the villager died without finishing the archery range. 173 hit points from being finished, and apparently Wolfie was having a different idea, with apparently the Scorpion as well. But still, nicely played. The water is, yep, nothing happening on it at all. Just a bit of economy, potentially a bit of help for Mango himself. As, of course, Aramis, with the help of Maxi, or rather through Maxi, is also advancing on the right flank. Well, but the knights are already in, with Imperial Age finally coming for Follow Your Mind. So that's potentially gonna be what is gonna decide the fight on the left side, because it's almost looking like that Carbo is not really moving anywhere. Has he like switched into double sling or whatnot? No, he hasn't. So, like, what's going on? Because he's having kinda slow economy still going. He is kinda prepared with at least a few cavalry archers. But his economy is definitely not the one of Boomy player. 38 villages at this point. Not great, but has to be said. As I said a bit before, he lost plenty of economy and he lost the gold due to not controlling, of course, the waters. And that is quite a high price to actually pay. And okay, you already see the landing right about now by Follow Your Mind, who's probably gonna be trying to drop a castle. Yeah, that's probably gonna be a castle pretty soon. Castle right on the shoreline to help him. And oh well, this is so well played by CZ. Kinda screwing up the plan by Axe quite significantly. Mango is doing a great job trying to slow it down, whereas in the meantime, of course, Skull and Follow Your Mind are gonna be absolutely disrupting the gameplay, landing on their opponents in the middle of them and hoping to actually kill the economy through that kind of plan, which is definitely working. As you can see, Aramis 38, 44 for Maxi, Carbo 43, and CZs are already at 100 in there. So yeah, plenty of spearmen. Let's see how long they're actually gonna be working, because horses are coming up, and so are apparently a few monks here and there. In the meantime, of course, there's gonna be a castle drop on the right flank. So of course, Maxi is working his way through into the opponent, but unfortunately, he's just way too slow. Way too slow, which is allowing the opponent, CZ, to actually do whatever they can and whatever they want, more or less. As yeah, this advance is not what they were hoping for. So this is actually a very nice high-level team play right there. Quite nice play, how to play against a sling. And you can see that even without a sling, you can stop a slinger, even if you didn't know that from the get-go. So, strong strategy, but if you know what you're doing, you can stop that through proper team play, and that's exactly what's happening right about now from CZs. Siege Workshop coming up for a few extra mangonels and whatnot, but they should be careful about here because, of course, this is gonna be costing plenty of villagers. As Blue has finished the castle, and yep, this is gonna be resulting into the GG's, because with this landing, by Follow Your Mind and all the economies, this is just absolutely impossible for Carbo to win. Absolutely impossible. And in the middle, Red was already kinda hammered. He couldn't sling all that much into his ally on the right, and well, Aramis just didn't do anything significant. He didn't even kill his opponent, and has to be said, it's not for the lack of trying, but it was because Mango just did such a good job. Such a good job. Now, can we get some good shot in there? Apparently not. Such a good job of stalling the opponent, and well, that was a very qualified game. Very qualified game by Caesars, has to be said. That was nicely handled, Decider, but well, quite nicely done also by the opponents, by Arcs. It was a good plan, even though, yeah, they didn't want to fight on the water, which is slightly surprising, because looking how Arcs are very strong on water maps, it's really surprising. But they opted for this, trying to surprise the opponents because they wanted to abuse the fact it's gonna be Mayan against the Viking, which is not a bad idea, of course, when you think about it. It just unfortunately didn't work out, as the scouting was proper and the gameplay by Caesars as well. Okay then, let's check the achievements. Now let's check the achievements here. It's gonna be Follow Your Mind with the highest score. Nicely done indeed. Nicely done indeed. And well, for the other players, it's gonna be kinda similar. Just well, Arcs couldn't get the economies going all that much. I'm kinda surprised that actually Carbo didn't get better economy in there. But well, probably all the barrage from the water didn't really help him all that much. And that's probably the reason why he couldn't get going. Well, so this decider is gonna be decided. Now CZs are gonna be better than Clan Arc then. Well, this is definitely making for quite interesting moments in the league. And you can see 4000 slung, even though he was slinging for not really all that long, like about 20 minutes, 15-20 minutes. Still would have expected a bit more, but that's because Skull landed him and started to be quite annoying. Yeah, he definitely was. You can see, Follow Your Mind even could get 158 in the end in the villages. Well, that was one hell of a boom in there. That was quite a nice one. Okay, GG.